Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It is the weekend, so let's do the whole doggone thing. Saturday, the 29th of April, World Veterinarian Day, National First Ladies Day, World Wish Day. Do you have any wishes, Heidi?
No, not really, no.
Okay. Independent Bookstore Day, National Pool Opening Day, National Shrimp Scampi Day, National Zipper Day, and National Peace Rose Day. Sunday the 30th, National Bubble Tea Day, National Preparathon Day, National Military Brats Day. I think it's Military Brats, actually. although I would like to try some of the Military Brats.
I would love to try a military
Is this a
brat.
military bratwurst? Can't believe I just read that wrong. National Adopt a Shelter Pet Day. Everybody else is going, I can believe that. National Pet Parents Day, National Raisin Day, National Oatmeal Cookie Day. I think it's interesting those two are together, raisins and oatmeal
love
cookies.
oatmeal cookies.
Yeah, National Hairstylist Appreciation Day, National Bugs Bunny Day, and National Honesty Day. All of those things happening. And I have a really cool guest today. Could have actually been a Movie Star Monday again. Director this time, Gina Gershon. Now, she's an actress. This is her first directorial debut. She's in the movie Pretty in Pink, Cocktail, Face Off, Chucky, and a lot of others. And now she just finished directing a film called 12 Desperate Hours.
What a year. With prices on everything going up, it's more important than ever to have a better credit card. Some people use a credit card that's not a very good one. At bettercreditcards.com, we offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we probably have it at bettercreditcards.com. Give yourself a little credit. Bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. A United Kingdom study found the typical British woman will spend 26 years of her life suffering with bad hair. Does that sound about right?
I think that's not just that.
That's where they did the
country.
study. They did the study there.
Okay.
The poll found most women wake up with unruly hair at least 3 days a week. How often do you do that, Heidi?
Every single day.
I like the look you have going right now. That's
Why,
nice.
thank you, because I've done nothing with
No,
it.
your hair
So
looks. There are some people who they have to do a lot to look presentable. You can literally wake up and walk out the door and you look good. And then you do a little something and you look.
that's very sweet.
Then you do a little something and then you look great. But you look good no matter what. So I think that's like a superpower, Heidi. It's good. And another study says research finds those who include a dish of fish in their diet every week tend to see better. So if you have more fish, you can see better. So you should have the seafood diet.
Oh my gosh. That was a stretch.
I know it was.
Yeah.
Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. The dad joke brought to you by me.
Did you know you can allocate a percentage of your IRA to physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can put your IRA back on the gold standard. Genesis Gold IRA is the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. GenesisGoldIRA.com would like to help protect your IRA today with a simple phone call. Learn more and get the phone number at GenesisGoldIRA.com. That's GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Heidi, did you know the recent explosion of SpaceX Starship rocket might have actually seemed like a disaster, but it's not really the kind of result that should have prompted celebration from the SpaceX founder Elon Musk and his employees. They cheered at what they considered a major success. SpaceX was not necessarily expecting the rocket to explode, the most powerful and one of the most complex ever to fly, by the way. And it did not emerge unscathed. Maybe that's why many were amused when the company described the explosion on Twitter as a, quote, rapid, unscheduled disassembly of the rocket. Cosmic level euphemism if there ever was one. But they're just saying, you know, at the end of the day, they're going, why were they celebrating? And I think part of it is they realize this is not what we wanted, but it's still a step forward because we learned what not to do, maybe? I don't know. I know when it happened. It was like a week ago now that happened, and people all over the internet were talking about, why would he be cheering about this? I'm like, what is he supposed to do? You know?
Right.
He just found a positive way to look at a negative thing.
Huh.
We don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey, easy for me to say, they may want to call in a true detective on this one. After McConaughey suggested that they could actually be half-brothers, the Cheers alum weighed in on the possibility during an appearance on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. He told the host that there is some veracity to that thought, but they don't know for sure. Anyway, he said they might want to, call in some help to figure this out. Wouldn't it just be as simple as taking a DNA test?
You would think so.
I think that's all it would really take. And time does heal all wounds. 12 years after Charlie Sheen and Chuck Lorre's dramatic falling out on 2.5 Men, which included a fierce public feud and a lawsuit.
Gosh, that was awful.
The pair are back in business together.
Are you kidding?
A new series called How to Be a Bookie. It's news guaranteed to make the show the most anticipated series next year. Sheen is not the main star of the program, but he will have a recurring role on this single-camera comedy that's coming out soon. So that'll be interesting.
That is interesting.
All right. Big screen, little screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com.
How much do you pay for your cell phone every month? If it's more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring in your current phone. iPhones and Samsung phones both work well with Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying, just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. Of the 8 billion, with a B, billion people on Earth, 2.5 billion, with a B, do not have toilets. Isn't that weird to think of that? 8 billion people, total population of the planet, 2.5 billion.
That is crazy.
Do not have a toilet. So there you go. And a UK, United Kingdom, World War II veteran with no surviving relatives celebrated his 105th birthday with over 3,000 cards from kind-hearted strangers.
Oh, I love that.
There was a charity that kind of put out this appeal. This could have been our good news today, but I just thought this would be a really good place. We need to kind of pick up the mood here a little bit in the middle of the program. So we got this. We have good news at the end of the show as well. But Ernest Horsfall, who has seen 27 prime ministers and 5 British monarchs during his lifetime alone, said he was surprised and amazed at how many people took the time to write him a little note and send him a little card. He was showered with cards from well-wishers after the Royal British Legion called for the ex-serviceman to be honored for his landmark 105th birthday. After opening all of his cards, he said he was looking forward to spending some time with his girlfriend. She's 63, by the way. Her name is Margaret.
Look at him go. What a stud.
She flew in from Iceland to be with him on his special day. So, again, he is 105. She is 63. How adorable is that?
That's adorable.
And it's really cool. Like I said, that was going to be my good news. And then I have another story that I think is good news as well. And I'm like, which one do I put here? I thought I'd put this one here. I think it's amazing. Want to remind you, if you do come across a story somewhere that's either like a weird story or a funny story or maybe just something you're going, I can't believe that happened. I love it when you share those things with us because then we can share it with everybody else.
Right.
You can find a link at the bottom of the page, like an email thing at the bottom of the page at johnandheidishow.com.
InsuranceChicken.com wants to know, how much are you paying for your insurance? I know it seems like a hassle to switch to a different company, but if you can save a few bucks, it's worth crossing the road to InsuranceChicken.com. We have several of the top insurance companies trying to earn your business. They do that by offering great insurance that is cheap. Okay, enough of the silly chicken puns. It's time to get serious about saving you money on your insurance at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Gina Gershon is our guest today. You've seen her as an actress in many films. Now she's made her directorial debut in 12 Desperate Hours. Gina, tell me a little bit about the film.
Well, it's 12 Desperate Hours. It's really about, based on a true story that Anne Rule, she writes about true crime, where a woman who's a really good mother, protective, kind of puts everyone in front of herself, empathetic, compassionate, has 2 little kids at home, and all of a sudden a guy shows up with a sawed-off rifle trying to get to his girlfriend. He's already killed a couple of people, although she doesn't know that yet. But in order to protect her family, she says, I'll drive you wherever you want to go. Just leave everyone here. Leave my family alone. And it becomes this kind of unlikely, I wouldn't say friendship, but, this guy is, obviously a little bit unhinged. He's, everything that Val represents, a loving mother, a loving home. He doesn't have that. He's kind of one of the unloved. He doesn't have family. People treat him horribly. And he's arrived at this place where he's just trying to get to his girlfriend in a little bit of a dangerous, obsessive way. But through her kindness and compassion and empathy, she prevented him from killing other people and then from killing himself. And it is based on a true story. And I thought it was kind of an interesting story about what's going on in America right now.
Yeah.
And I liked it because it kind of presents a problem and a solution. And I thought, well, this is a story I'd like to tell.
It looks like a phenomenal story to tell, and it's based on a true story. Does that make it more difficult to make the movie when it's based on a true story and this stuff really happened? Or is it more difficult to do a story that's completely made up and you can do anything, really?
Well, listen, I mean, based on a true story, you just open up the paper any day and you see another mass shooting, you see more gun violence, more, mental illness. I mean, even if it wasn't based on a true story, it's all over. It's out of control right now. It's based on a true story. So you have certain parameters and you have to decide what to show, what not to show. I mean, this actually took place in the 70s, but since this is a very low budget film shot very quickly, I kind of made it, you weren't quite sure what year it was because we couldn't get all of, the 70s material. It's an under $1 million film. So it was kind of like going to NYU and making a film all of a sudden. But I just made sure, being an actor, and really the most important thing is you have to cast great actors who have your back, you can depend on, were really brilliant. And my main cast is really great. Samantha Mathis, who's solid as they come, embodies empathy. Harrison Thomas, who is just so brilliant in this part. And you really understand why this guy is doing what he's doing. David Conrad brought a whole other level than I expected. And Hannah Dunn and Tina Fallon. I mean, I really had a terrific cast. I was lucky because we didn't have any time to dilly-dally. So it was like, know your lines, come, and we really had to be quite focused.
And this is your first time as a director, but you're very comfortable as an actress. Do you envision yourself directing another project in the future?
I hope so. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I would like a little bit more time and kind of some more cameras next time. But, I do. I enjoy telling a story. I enjoy putting the whole thing together because I like, design. I like costumes. I like the whole thing. As being an actor, it's very focused and then you're done. Sometimes even as an actor, I'm like, I wonder why they're shooting it this way. I would shoot it like this. So I think I'm kind of directing in my mind for a while now. And just the right opportunity didn't present itself. And when this did, I just thought, where I'm at right now, I thought this is a story that we could all relate to. And, listen, we're all really connected. I thought, and just how we treat people can have a direct effect on their behavior for better or worse. And I just think we need to recognize that a little bit more. So this is my way of putting that out in the world, and sharing this story, which I thought was very interesting. I was really happy to be able to direct it.
Again, it's out now. It came out through Lifetime, 12 Desperate Hours. Thank you so much for taking the time to visit.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. We'll throw a link to all of the information in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
What a year. With prices on everything going up, it's more important than ever to have a better credit card. Some people use a credit card that's not a very good one. At bettercreditcards.com, we offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we probably have it at bettercreditcards.com. Give yourself a little credit. Bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
According to a poll, doctors and lawyers are the worst tippers. Huh.
Really?
Never would have thought of that.
No.
Maybe they're paying back all those, law school bills and medical school bills. That could be.
Huh.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Saturn's rings are only 33/100th of a feet thick, or 9/90ths of a meter thick. So they're not very thick is what they're trying to say.
Okay.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
A sunset on Mars would be blue. That's interesting. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The cardboard holder that you get around the takeaway coffee cup has a name. I was trying to remember this because I knew this.
Oh, yeah, we've talked about this.
And I was just like a month ago, I was trying to figure out. What is
I
it
can't
called?
remember.
Zarf. Z-A-R-F.
Okay.
That's what it's called, a Zarf. Because on Tuesdays with Charlie, your dad was saying that Kim Kardashian has somebody else remove those from her cup. She won't even touch them.
Right.
And I couldn't think of the name of what they were at the time, but now we know. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Dogs who bark a lot can get laryngitis. So I'm hoping that's what happens.
You mentioned that yesterday to me.
I saw this when I was getting ready for the
You're
show.
like,
I was like,
maybe
oh,
our dog.
Our dog goes nuts lately. All right. Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Did you know you can allocate a percentage of your IRA to physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can put your IRA back on the gold standard. Genesis Gold IRA is the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. GenesisGoldIRA.com would like to help protect your IRA today with a simple phone call. Learn more and get the phone number at GenesisGoldIRA.com. That's GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. Yay! It's brought to you by Mintervention.com. Question for you, Heidi. In a survey asking, what is the hardest driving maneuver? The number one answer was
Parallel parking.
Yes, but what was number two? Number one answer was parallel parking. What was the second hardest driving maneuver?
I have no idea.
Backing into a parking spot.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm okay with both of those.
Yes, you are.
Heidi is not.
I prefer not
I saw her
to do
parallel
them.
park one time. I thought she was going to take out a light pole, 7 pedestrians, and all of the traffic.
If I can't go in nose first, I'm not parking there.
Just going to go around the block. What? Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com.
How much do you pay for your cell phone every month? If it's more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring in your current phone. iPhones and Samsung phones both work well with Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying, just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. A teenager had to be rescued from inside a large claw game after he climbed in there to steal a prize. Yeah, this happened at Carowinds theme park in Charlotte, North Carolina. A spokesperson there said they were made aware of a 13-year-old male who climbed. Why did they have to put male? We already knew that part.
Yeah.
A 13-year-old male who climbed into the claw machine called Cosmic's SL bonus game. The game is about 6.5 feet tall and about 5 feet wide, making it much bigger than the average claw game. A medical response team had to be summoned. They unblocked the machine, and the boy climbed out.
So embarrassing.
It doesn't say if he got in trouble.
Oh, I would hope so.
But I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm assuming he got in a lot of trouble.
If nothing else, I'll bet he learned his lesson.
Oh, well, you would think so.
Yeah, you would hope. That is some weird news. It comes your way, courtesy of WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Time now for the list, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Signs your child is highly gifted, according to neuroscience experts. Asynchronous development. Does your bright child struggle with simple tasks like tying shoelaces or remembering to brush your teeth, but then they have these other things that they're really, really good at? That could be a gifted child that you're dealing with there. Emotional depth and sensitivity at a young age. Gifted children experience more intense emotional reactions to the world around them. Says they might have a hard time enjoying shows where a character is hurt or sad because that really bothers them. It's not just a show to them. Existential questioning. Gifted children often have the insatiable curiosity when it comes to different aspects of life, more concerned about things like death and poverty and climate change and all kinds of things that are happening in the world around them. Unique interests or a mature sense of humor could mean you have a gifted child as well. If your child is making high-level chemistry puns or studying transit maps of major cities, you might worry that they're missing out on their childhood, but it's just because they're way smarter than you. And underachievement in school. Believe it or not, gifted children have a need for constant mental stimulation, and school gets them bored really easily.
Do that. Yep.
So I can relate to that, and our son definitely could relate to that. So if you'd like to read all of the details that I skimmed through quickly, I have the list in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
InsuranceChicken.com wants to know, how much are you paying for your insurance? I know it seems like a hassle to switch to a different company, but if you can save a few bucks, it's worth crossing the road to InsuranceChicken.com. We have several of the top insurance companies trying to earn your business. They do that by offering great insurance that is cheap, cheap, cheap. Okay, enough of the silly chicken puns. It's time to get serious about saving you money on your insurance at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Our quote today is from Bill Hicks. I loved Bill Hicks. He was gone way too young. His quote is, "It's always funny until someone gets hurt. Then it's
hilarious.
Then it's just hilarious." And depending on what we're talking about, that's
I
true.
agree with that.
But
I laugh so hard at videos where people are getting hurt.
Well, especially if they're being a knucklehead and you're like,
Yeah.
what did you think was going to happen? So there you go. Quote of the day comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. So this could be a really bad story, but it turns into a really good and kind of an adorable story.
Okay.
Arctic fox escapes the zoo. That could be
Okay.
bad. But then it gets tired and takes a nap.
Oh.
Police in Germany rescued a, quote, fugitive Arctic fox that was found sleeping in the middle of the road. Like I said, this could have ended very, very poorly. The tired fox chose this particular street to take a nap on Thursday afternoon. Previously escaped from the zoo. After escaping from the zoo, it was just exhausted and decided to lay down on the side of the street.
Well,
and luckily,
escaping the zoo is tough work.
it is. Luckily, he was kind of on the side of the road, but very easily could have been run over still. And the way he's laying there, it almost looks like he had been run over, but he was just taking a nap. Witnesses spotted him. They called the police. The fox was safely escorted back to its enclosure at the zoo. The police officers on the scene snapped a few photos of the sleeping fox and posted the photos to the department's website, which is wonderful because then we were able to see them and we were able to tell you about them. But this fox, it's an Arctic fox, so it's like a whitish color. And I say whitish because it's probably not really white. It's more of like a tan or a gray.
Okay.
But an adorable fox. And fox, a lot of the time you think about how big that is. It's not a big animal.
No, they're not big.
No. So it almost looks like a puppy dog just laying down on the road, taking a little nap.
Aw.
So very adorable. If you'd like to see the photos or if you'd like to read all the details, you can do that in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.